Wataru Endō's performance versus West Ham. Although Liverpool ended up winning 5-1, Endō's performance just couldn't be any better. His tackles were sharp, and he was fast with every tackle. So let's analyze his performance to see what made him so important for Liverpool against West Ham. First, we see the opposition dribbling with speed, and he is getting closed down by two players, so his only option would be to stop the ball. Endō knows that he has his teammate to pass to, so Endō quickly marks the teammate. So as he tried to do a cut pass to his teammate, Endō comes in and intercepts the ball with his speed. In this clip, Endō actually does a smart thing. Endō knows that his teammates are closing the opposition player down, so the West Ham player will have to stop and pass, and he will have to do that quick without thinking as the player has no time. So Endō purposely stood a few yards away from the backup West Ham player and waited for a pass just so it could be intercepted. This is known as the interception trap, as you stand a bit far away from the opposition player's teammate to make it seem like they are wide open for a pass, but then, when the defender sees the player's foot is moving for the pass, before the opposition player, who has the ball, can react, the defender comes at lightning speed and intercepts the ball, which is shown here. As Endō intercepts the ball, he takes a big touch, so that makes the West Ham player drawn in to retake the ball. Endō avoids getting intercepted by shielding the ball with his foot, but at the same time passing it to where the least amount of danger at the area of the field he is at. Also notice how he doesn't mindlessly pass to his teammate. He looks up and sees if there's a defender guarding them. If there was, then he would have to dribble to space then pass. As the ball gets cleared from the goalkeeper, the ball finds Endō, who takes a chest touch. You're probably wondering why he didn't skim before the touch. The reason is if he scanned a bit earlier, the ball would have just hit him and it would have been a terrible touch. Endō quickly turns his body so that he can make a pass or a dribble. He then scans to see any defender coming, which is super important when you have your back turned to the attacking half, as the opposition can easily pressure you and take the ball off you when you are in a turning position. And the scan was useful, as he saw a defender coming from behind, specifically on this lane, meaning that he has an option to use advantage. Endō finds a gap to dribble into between these two defenders, and before these defenders can close Endō in, he plays a safe pass. Darwin Núñez is getting pressured by the defender. He touches the ball out here so the defender can't come around. Now the second defender is coming. Darwin Núñez passes the ball to his right foot and turns his body to draw the defender to come around. This opens up space over here. As the defender here is pressuring Endō, he has two options. 1. He could do a sneaky pass behind to his teammate here. 2. He could pass the ball in between the two defenders here to Chiesa. Do you know which one he'll choose? I will give you 5 seconds. Okay, now to find the answer, you need to know the most effective option, which in this situation would be, if Endō passes the ball to his teammate over here, then these two defenders can easily close him in and trap him. But if he passes to Chiesa, where most of the space is, then Liverpool won't have to worry about losing the ball, and then Chiesa can start or continue an attack. As the West Ham player takes a big touch, it engages Endō to tackle. Instead of stepping in front of the ball, that he gets the ball off the West Ham player. Endō steps in front of the player so he can quickly tap the ball away and change directions. I don't know if this was on purpose or not, but if it was, which it probably was, then this is genius. This reminds me of the Hazard trip. Now that I've analyzed some of his glory moments, many people analyzing would leave this part out. But I found a few mistakes here and I'm going to point them out so you don't make the same mistakes here. The free kick distance is pretty far, so a shot wouldn't have a good chance of going in. The first mistake I saw Endō do was jumping too early. If he were to just time his jump a little bit longer, but also not wait too long so that the ball goes to the opposition, then he would have been able to angle his head more effectively and get his header on target. And the second mistake I saw was him letting the ball hit the side of his head rather than trying to hit the ball towards the target. When the ball is coming to your head, if you just let the ball hit you, then you can't really control and aim where you're heading. Okay, this clip, we see some good defending by Endō, heading the ball away from getting headed by the opposition and potentially scoring. In situations like these, running fast is crucial as you can't let the ball go to the opposition. As the ball is coming, if Endō mindlessly headers the ball without great vision, then he could own goal, or he could header it to an opponent, but the vision and the header technique in this clip is what really stands out. Instead of angling his head and trying to header the ball out using his forehead, like most people do, which takes too long to do wasting time, Endō sees the ball coming to his back head, so he headers with his back head and bends his head down so that the ball doesn't bounce off his head and go outside the box, giving the opposition a good chance to score. First we see that the ball, and up high it is close to the opposition player, but going towards Endō. This is a 50/50th, so let's see how composed and fast and effectively he can do this. If Endō doesn't do anything, then he has to rely on his teammate, who is over here, which is at a disadvantage, because he has to outrun this defender. Now what I'm about to say, I've never ever heard anybody talk about it ever. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, etc., and many other platforms I've never seen anybody mention this. Which is why I'm about to say this. In football, when you're playing a match, many times you off the ball to what the team's relying on, depending on the situation and the area of the field you're at. Like shown in this clip, if Endō doesn't take action and steal the ball, the opposition can get the ball and start a counter-attack. That just shows that even when you're off the ball, you can make a massive difference, taking action or moving somewhere. Same goes for on the ball too. Okay, back to the analysis. As the ball is in the air, Endō runs on a 50/50th lane, rather than a side lane to have an equal chance of getting the ball. The ball was initially closer to this player, but it was moving towards Endō, which makes it 50/50ths, and because Endō is a fast player, I think he will get the ball first. And the reason Endō would be so important to be in this situation over any other defender in Liverpool is because he's fast. If it was another player and that's 50/50ths, then the opposition would have got the ball and started a counter-attack. That's why Endō was mostly important for the situation. Endō controls the ball with his chest by bringing his chest close to the ball, bringing his arms out to the side and leaning back. Instead of stopping when he takes a chest touch like what most people do, he brings it forward, catching the defender by surprise. Endō finds the pass, which is accurate, just to the side past this defender, but not too much to the side so that it goes to this opposition player. As the ball is coming in high, it's a 50/50ths, so Endō jumps to get the ball before the defender does. As Endō took a chest touch, the touch was just a little forward, which the defender intercepted. Endō gets down low, getting a low center of gravity, and shoulder barges the defender off the ball. Endō goes down low enough so that the defender can't body Endō off the ball, but instead Endō can body the defender off the ball. Here if Endō just passes it to Luis Diaz, who is up the left wing right here, then this defender can intercept the ball. And instead Endō dribbles to the space, which is here. This means that the defenders over here has to react, then start running, which takes time, which is why Endō will always be a bit ahead, meaning that he'll have to pass quickly,